There are two water purifiers, one priced at $190, another at $327. The seller really wants to sell the expensive one, but most buyers end up buying the cheaper one. Why does this happen? And how can the seller get more people to choose the expensive model? Some might think the solution is simple. Just clearly explain why the $327 purifier is better. But here's the catch. No matter how good a product is, it's hard for buyers to objectively determine how much that better is worth in terms of price. If they knew the product's fair cost, reasonable profit margin, and market prices for similar items, maybe they could make a rational decision. However, in reality, shoppers rarely know a fair price, because price perception isn't set by cost, but by how buyers perceive value. So, if sellers want buyers to pick the $327 purifier, they need to help them perceive its value as significantly higher than the cheaper one. This is where an important marketing principle comes in: the price anchor. Here's the story. One day while I traveling for work, I stayed at a hotel that offered two paid internet options, $12 per hour or $16 for a full day. I immediately thought, $12 for 1 hour means $24 for 2 hours, but $16 gets me all-day access, which is a great deal. So I chose the $16 plan without hesitation. Right after paying, I realized I had fallen into a trap. I only needed the internet briefly to check emails. The real purpose of the $12 hourly rate was simply to make the $16 daily fee seem like a bargain. That cheaper option is the price anchor. The concept of price anchoring was introduced by a psychologist named Amos Tversky in 1992. He found that when consumers are unsure about a product's price, they rely on two key principles to decide if it's reasonable. The first one, avoiding extremes. When there are three options, a cheap basic one, an expensive premium one, and a middle option in terms of features and price, most buyers avoid the extremes and pick the middle. Marketers know this, so they place the product they want to sell in the middle to increase its chances. The second one, comparative evaluation. When buyers can't tell if a price is high or low, they compare it with other similar products to create a mental benchmark. This helps them judge the value. How can we use price anchoring and these two principles to guide buyers toward the product we want them to buy? Back to the $327 water purifier. If sellers really want to boost sales of this model, they should avoid making it an extreme option. The easiest way is to introduce a higher-end purifier priced at, say, $628, maybe with gold trim or extra features. Then display all three options side by side. When buyers see only the $109 and $327 models, most pick the cheaper one. But once the $628 model is added, the $327 purifier suddenly looks much more reasonable and attractive. Or consider a health checkup priced at $86. A seller could advertise it like this: you spend $860 a year maintaining your car. Why not invest $86 to take care of yourself? This comparison appeals to many because it reframes the value. If you can spend that much on a car, why not on your health? When buyers engage in this kind of comparative thinking, the product's value becomes clear. Often you don't need to hype up a product's features, just find the right comparison that highlights its value. Price anchors act as reference points in buyers' minds, creating what psychologists call the anchoring effect. This anchoring effect isn't just about price. Everything is relative. When people judge anything unfamiliar, they look for something familiar as a reference. Once we understand how buyers' evaluations are anchored, we see that setting, shifting, or removing anchors is a universal strategy in business. For example, a copywriter might draft 3 versions of a pitch. One version is intentionally weaker and used as a decoy to make the others look better by comparison, leveraging the anchoring effect on the boss's judgment. Real estate agents often show clients 2 similar homes, one cheaper and better, one more expensive but with fewer perks. The inferior property acts as an anchor to make the better one look like a great deal. Some less scrupulous agents even artificially inflate prices on certain listings just to create these anchors. Or imagine a customer walks into an antique shop, browses around, and ends up buying a cheap keychain. The shop owner could place a priceless artifact, say $1 million vase, at the entrance. After admiring the expensive piece, the customer's perception shifts, and suddenly the keychain feels like a bargain. Luxury brands like Stife's limited edition golden teddy bears, priced at $86,000, or a $1 million diamond-studded laptop, aren't selling many units. Instead, their real role is to set a high anchor so other products feel much more affordable. At the end of the day, whether water at 40 degrees C feels hot or cold depends on your body temperature. Whether a meal tastes good depends on how hungry you are. All sensations are relative. By managing the anchors in buyers' minds, sellers can influence how their products are perceived and ultimately what they choose to buy. If you found these insights on business helpful, be sure to subscribe for more tips on boosting your sales and marketing strategies. And don't forget to like this article. Your support really helps us create more valuable content for you. See you next time.